Okay, good. Broadcast, Justin TV. Alright, hey guys, welcome to Squeeze Play, the poker show. I'm Unexceptional Rounder, and I'm here with my guest, Shark Slayer. Shark, why don't you say hi, and also want to let you guys know that today I'm going to be streaming on both YouTube and Twitch.tv. So, wherever you want to, view the show is cool. I'm going to be monitoring the chat on YouTube mostly, and I think Shark is going to be monitoring the Twitch chat. So just let us know how the quality is, and hopefully everything's good. And if there's any issues, please let us know, especially with audio, because that's always our concern. I'm going to go ahead and turn Shark's sound on, so you guys should be able to hear him.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Squeeze Play. I was talking to the show. Sorry I missed it last week. I was detained, entertaining the family, but I'm back and excited for the new show. I heard it was a pretty good show last week. It has a professional live poker player on, giving tips to everybody, so it's exciting.
Yeah, I thought we had a great show. I learned a lot. I think a lot of the viewers learned something during that show, so pretty good time. And
say hi. Also, want to let you guys know that today I'm going to be streaming on both.
Where's that sound coming from?
I'm checking the audio on Twitch right now. Seems to be good.
Oh, okay. That was you?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so you guys may have noticed that I've moved up to 10 no limit. So that's pretty cool. That is, something that I've been meaning to do. I haven't quite necessarily, fully moved up, so to speak, but I've definitely, if you want to call it taking shots or whatever, I want to kind of have a sort of more widespread range of levels that I've played across time. Let me clarify. Right now, if I go play all my hands on, if I play all my hands at, 4NL and then move up, then as I get better and I get used to stuff, I'm going to be getting better. So it doesn't truly reflect the overall player pool at each level. So I'd like to have a little bit more overlap than I was originally planning. So I'll play hands at right now when I 4-table, I have two hands of two tables of 10NL and 2 of 4NL, just to kind of get a mix of hands. That way we can see the numbers and everything. So here, I think our opponent is going to call pretty light on this flop. The 9's not a great turn, but we still do have the aces and overcard, so I'm going to go ahead and bet again. See if we can get them to lay down a pair 7s or 6s. I don't expect
when you get a chance,
anything worse.
Can you share your screen?
Oh, is it not? Okay, I will do that, yeah. There we go. Hopefully
Perfect,
we
thank
can
you.
handle it. We'll see. I'm going to fold to this jam, this squeeze.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it handles the double live streaming with the
how's the video
share screen
quality on
it's pretty good. It's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Twitch is looking good. Yeah.
All right. So we've announced there. Let me go ahead and make sure that I announce.
So I want to. Do you have a lot of regulars last week for the show? Basically, to watch the guy, the professional poker player, come on or not?
Yeah, we did. It was good. They enjoyed it. So we what I wanted to do is have I was thinking about doing a similar thing where I just do hand history reviews again this week, but I decided to just get some play because I haven't had anyone really submitting too many hand histories.
Right.
And therefore, I don't want it to just all be me going over my hands. That's good and that helps me out, but I'd like it to be a little bit more interactive. Have you guys submit hands. That way, we can go over viewer hands and learn a little bit more from those.
So you went to 10 and L. Do you see a big difference in the competition, or is it still a lot pretty fishy, or Is it more aggressive, or what's the general feeling of the tables at 10-0?
It's about the same. I mean, it's more or less just like what players you're playing against. So for the most part, it's the same. I don't really see a huge difference. I mean, there's realistically, I think there's just as many fish. I see a lot of similar names too. So I think a lot of players are playing both. Doing the
Here's an
same
interesting
thing,
question.
bouncing between levels.
Does the Holdem manager will it transfer over their stats from 4-L, or will it give them new stats basically because they could change their play? Or
It's up to you. You can change it in the settings. I make it so that they're the
okay,
same. But you can filter all the HUD displays by time. So like if you don't want to see hands they played a year ago, which would make sense I think, then you don't have to see those. If you don't want to see how they play at 10 NL and how they play at 200 NL, because those might be different, then you can kind of filter for like a level above, a level below, last 30 days, stuff like that.
right.
So let me finish. I've gotten a little bit worse about announcing this stuff prior, but I think most of the people who are, tuning in, like, know when it is, so I haven't been as worried about it. Yeah, it looks like we already have. Let me go ahead and change this title to.
Did you make those eights pot size bet on the small blind?
I made it that plus a big blind. Oops, and I meant to
Okay.
make that just a min raise. Sorry, I'm trying to get everything set up.
I actually have to. I've been playing 4-L so much that the different pot sizes, you go around, you see 14, you're opening, pot size open, pot size open. Now you're playing 10-L, it's a little different. I think you should just go to 100-NL, or sorry, 400-NL,
Yeah, that is
because
a little easier.
that way I think it'd probably be better for you, because that way it's all the same, just times everything by 100.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. It makes sense. All right, so this is an
Uh,
interesting board. We got like a 9-9-6-2. I mean, this really almost doesn't hit anything, and then we have the fish kind of leading out at us. I think this is a pretty decent spot to go ahead and make a raise. So I'm getting better than if he folds like anywhere near half the time here. Then this is a pretty good bet, and he re-raises, so that's fine. We can go ahead and fold. We'll just time down for a second and then let it go. So yeah, I mean there he may have had a set a lot or something like that, but we'll lead out. And let me.
I like how you said the time down. Like I have a big problem with that, the timing down. Like I'll make knee-jerk reactions instantly fast, and I bet you people get a lot of timing
tells,
reads on me,
yeah.
timing tells on me. So it's very important. Like just, I mean, you could do the standard stuff like the opening because you obviously had a lot of time to if you're like late position or whatever, just those that's fine. But when you're like kind of heads up or like post flop, you don't want to ever just like throw a C bet out right away. It's like, oh, this guy's knee jerk reaction on a C bet. Boom. I'm gonna raise that, or because
Right.
I don't know. I just
they might think you're doing it light. Yeah, I got it.
I'm not saying that like probably at this level it's a big deal, but it's still probably a good habit. I know it's hard for me to even break that habit, so get it in now and it'll be better.
Yeah, definitely.
I see Relo's back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
He's a loyal fan.
He moved up to 10 NL also, which is cool. So here I've got just like tons of equity. I can definitely go ahead and bet this. I've got the gut shot, 2 overs. So I can definitely bet here. I can barrel a bunch of turns, and should get a fair amount of folds. That's obviously not like the best turn to bet again. But here's the cool thing: if he checks and he has a draw, and we end up managing to check it down, I've got the best hand. So I definitely think a check back here is better than a bet. I don't think he's folding anything unless it's like a straight draw, and I'm ahead of his draws. So like on the turn, the hands that I think I was ahead of, I'm still ahead of. And the hands that are beating me aren't folding. So now he bets like half pot, which a little bit suspect. I mean, he could be doing this with a jack, or he could be doing it with a queen. Ah, no, shoot! I wanted to call that. Oh man, I gotta get. I shouldn't be on a fast table for the video. I think that's like his bluff missed a lot, and he's like just trying to fire out because the only hand that really makes sense is a queen. And I think that he's pretty like aggressive. I think he might have like led the turn or even like raised the flop or something with a good queen. So with a jack, like maybe he bets there, but I'm not sure if he's capable of value betting a jack on the river. So I kind of
just real quick
look him up and get into it.
Mute your sounds, your table sounds.
Oh yeah. Let me turn that down. Thank you.
Do you remember the one person that I remember that one time I was talking to you and I saw that guy at the table? Do you remember what his name was? Andrew something or?
Yeah, I've played with him a bunch of times since then.
Yeah, I want to talk to him about like what. Like, I remember that's the one where I was like trying to fold, and I accidentally I was like mashing it or whatever, and I hit stand up. Like it went through and then hit stand. I was like, oh my god, this guy thinks I'm fucking retarded.
Yeah, I just did that. That's exactly what I just did. I was just like, oh yeah, we'll just level this guy by doing the like fold stand up and then sit back down. That's a good way to level people though.
Thinking like this guy's just fucking
get inside their head, like they just don't even know what's this guy doing? This guy's like crazy. He's doing like other stuff, Really. Yeah. That's key.
It's a new poker tactic.
Yeah.
I do it live at live tables too. Stand up, sit back down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rebuy in.
Like yeah. Just like the insta-fold run to the bathroom.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Insta-mug take off for the bathroom. Throw in a Red Bull order on your way by.
God. Throw it on a red board.
I'm trying to get on a table, but okay, here we go. So where do I want to sit here? I guess I kind of want to sit behind the guy with $23. Get this new table going, and I'm going to close out this table on the left because it looks like it's just junk. So I'm just going to get off of it.
Oh, you going to be on the fast table though?
Well, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping that. It's three-handed. I'm looking for an alternative for that one, too. I guess maybe I should replace that one first. What's this? Seat open here. All right. Danny Dangles is at this table. I just recognize that name because it's a funny name. He's at both. All right, here we go. 2 slow tables. All right, Lima. Well, you guys don't need to know the names of them, but... got 2 slow tables, good to go. We're cooking now. Let's see here. Nice. So it looks like the preferred.
Preferred what? Sorry.
Oh! I was just reading Rella's comment. He thought I was just like beasting a 4NL, like just like up on all tables. I mean, I was sitting the other day with $30 on a 4NL table. Unfortunately, we weren't recording it, but Shark was sweating me while I was playing, and we ended up finding a table with a fish.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, and I ended up like with like $30 on my table. Man, this guy is. Oh, you know what? Let me switch my. I got. Oh, that was another thing. Let's see. This looks like a good spot. I don't know if this guy folds ever to 3-bets, but we'll give it a shot. I mean, probably not. He's clearly pretty aggressive, but we haven't played a hand yet. We're new at the table. Maybe he'll respect our 3-bet. Maybe. I don't know. He looks pretty fishy.
Double gutter.
Is it?
5 and an 8.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that's not that. We need 2 cards. We've got backdoor draws. I don't think that's a great bet to a board to C bet because he can raise us with so much stuff. So I'm just gonna check fold this, especially against like an aggressive player who's got position on me. He's gonna make my life hell on this flop a lot of the time. So I'm not going to mess with it. So it looks like people prefer, well, at least there's more people on the Twitch stream than the YouTube, which is what I expected. That's where people expect it to be. I'm going to go ahead and call here with the 8-9 suited. And then this is a great board to check raise. I do have some outs. You know, I've got a gut shot for outs. He can't have hit this too often. He bets full pot, which is indicative of strength, but that's okay. We're still going to raise it because we do have plenty of equity. And I'll call with the 10s here. I could 3-bet for value against this guy because I do have position, but I think that the 10s will be okay. And then not sure how I want to play this flop. And we get a decent turn. I'm going to go ahead and fire out again here. I don't know what this guy has, but you know, he's going to have to fold a lot of his like smaller pairs and stuff here with the jack. And again, now I'm double gun. No, still not. Okay, he's got a big hand. Go ahead and tank for a second, then fold. And we'll just bet here. I would expect him to maybe raise sometimes. If he raises, I'll probably like be willing to get it in with this guy on the left table, just because he's been aggressive. This guy probably just had a hand.
Man, this you're playing a lot more aggressive at this stakes than at least with these few hands than what I have watched when you play 4-0.
Well, I think like a lot of my game has been changing a little bit. I'm not going to mess with it, but right now, like what I've been doing a lot every session, and not looking necessarily at my results, but trying to be more conscious of what's called the red line, which is your non-showdown winnings, and just trying to like actually think about every single pot and think, okay, how could I take this one down? How can I win this pot? And going from the most aggressive to the least aggressive options. And if I think that, you know, raising is plus EV, then I'll usually go with that. Even if maybe sometimes like calling might be more plus EV in certain situations, like I'm trying to kind of get outside my comfort zone with aggression and be a little bit more aggressive, be a little bit more thinking about all the different situations. I may have to run outside in a minute here. My dog is making a lot of noise. Yeah, I'll be right back while I'm not in a hand. All right, we are back. Didn't even miss anything. Sweet. The other thing is I've realized that even the tags, like even like the better players at the micro stakes are still very passive players. Like they may float once in a while, but they they'll float once in a while, but they won't call the turn bet, or they'll bet one street and they'll double barrel, but they won't always bet like a third street. You know, they don't do the like one step further on aggression. And so if you can figure out the guys who are like capable of floating but aren't capable of like making a move on the turn or river, those can be even more profitable people to play against than like bad players, because you know what makes more money? Is it continuation betting and having someone fold, or betting the flop, the turn, and then having them fold the river? You know, like obviously
Right.
the second one makes more money. So you know, it's kind of interesting how that can work sometimes.
That's an interesting point.
So yeah, I've been just really kind of going through different board textures, different flops, thinking about more options than just, you know, raise, c-bet, check fold, raise, c-bet, double barrel a good card, you know, call, try to hit a flop. I've been 3-betting a little bit less out of the blinds because I'm trying to get a little bit more used to like playing hands post flop.
So would you say that your showdown winnings are supposed to are greater than normal than the red line, right?
No, like here I chose to lead out this flop because my range is so narrow for leading. There I probably could have check raised also. Like I'm still trying to figure out which situations are better for that type of stuff. Like a check raise may have been there, or maybe even a check call. But against this type of player, maybe I should have let out smaller. Against this type of player who's aggressive, I think he raises a lot of leads. So I think I made my sizing a little bit too big. If I wanted him to raise, I probably should have bet like half pot. Let out half pot, tried to represent like a small pair. But I think I bet out too big.
Did you donk bet him?
Yeah, yeah.
You used that? We were talking about that before the show about times you used a donk bet, and we were talking about it before the show, but I'll just go ahead and say what we said is that I find that when you donk bet somebody, especially the people who are like really talkative at the table and like, you know, always like yelling at people, like you donk bet them and they will just go insane on you because they're just like, you can't donk bet me, it's illegal. You know, it's like you'll be like fucking donk and they'll re-raise you and you're like, it's great to do with a hand.
Yeah.
To be careful. It's not a great way to bluff because people get real crazy with it, but.
Yeah. So here I'll call. I mean, here I've got, you know, a gut shot. I 3-bet, so it's pretty standard, you know, it's pretty standard continuation bet. If he's got any small pairs or small connectors, he'll probably fold them. He ends up calling the flop. Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about this guy. I don't think he's floating in a 3-bet pot without a hand. A lot of times he's going to have like a weak ace here, and he's not going to be willing to fold. Here I've got 2 overs and a flush draw, so I think it's pretty easy raise. And he bets real small here. He bets like, what is that, like half pot, like less than half pot. So, you know,
I'd fold it.
Fold. This guy gets.
I think he's trying.
10.
I mean, he's got ace, good kicker. 3-bet pot. Did he 3-bet you or did you 3-bet him? I didn't see the beginning. He just flat called.
Yeah. Then the table on the right, I
Ace
got it
10.
all in with you know, 2 overs and a flush draw, and the guy called with like 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw, and he hit the queen on the river, so that's good for him, but doesn't help me out much. Here I want to bet just to end the hand on the left. I mean, I've got middle pair. It's not a real strong hand, but it's going to look. My bet should fold out anything worse, and then I don't have to worry about overcards on the turn or river. If, you know, they've got ace 7 or whatever, they've got a lot of equity against me, and they fold that out on the turn. Man, these tables break constantly. That's really annoying. I'm not sure why they break so much. And the fast tables are much looser.
Hop on one.
Yeah.
It's just hard to commentate on fast tables. It's hard to do anything on a fast table.
Yeah.
I think that Carbon is already so fast even on the regular tables.
Yeah.
I don't like this whole 10-second thing. You have 10 seconds every big blind.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
The other thing that, you know, it sounded like a few guys liked it last week when we just reviewed hands. I mean, I think that's a great format because, you know, we can get a little bit more involved, get engaged. It's definitely something I'd like to do once in a while. Yeah, maybe even like every other week, you know, one week will be a live play, the next one we'll maybe review the hands from the live play or something like that. But I definitely enjoyed that. It's way more relaxed, being able to like think through the hands, talk through them, get feedback from you guys, and then decide maybe what the right or wrong play is, and, you know, learn something from it. Is definitely enjoyable. So if you guys really like that format, you know, leave a comment. Let me know that you guys would prefer that, or if you prefer the live play. I know the live play is like cool, it's exciting, and you get to see everything happening. So I understand that aspect of it, but I think if you are really interested in just learning and becoming a better player, you would probably prefer the hand history reviews, just as a default. So Shark, what's in your background there?
Oh, it's a Japanese flag. It's from when I climbed Fuji.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's you climb Fuji, you get these stamps going up the on you get this little walking stick, and you get these like brands on the walking stick as you go up, and there's you at the very top they have a flag you could buy. They give you, and it's just like it's like a food picture of Fuji on it and everything. So it's pretty exciting, yeah. You know, it's fucking terrible actually, but had to do it. Had to do it, you know.
Good
Just
stuff.
made myself do it.
Nice, man. All right. Well, hopefully we can get some hands going here. I'm gonna pot raise crazy just because I think he's gonna react the same to a 4x raise as he is to a pot raise, and he's probably going to call. So I want to put more money in with ace king if I can. And that's I was talking to Shark about it before the show, and talking about how one thing that Fender mentioned during the last show that I thought was really important was this idea of everybody kind of talking about balancing their play, and I've mentioned before that I don't think you have to balance too much at the low stakes, but one of the things he mentioned was that you need to that you should be trying to decide what the best play is for every situation, and so one thing I've been trying to do is think about which not what do I need to do here? What do I do most of the time here? Because a lot of times when you hear people talking about it, they'll say something like, well, sometimes I'll lead out here, sometimes I'll check raise. I mix up my play to keep people guessing. And that's fine, but I want to know exactly which situations it's better to lead out, exactly which situations it's better to check raise, exactly which situations are best to check call with. And once I know what is the best answer on each situation, then I can start worrying about how to balance those decisions and how to balance my play against different players. Because really, most of the time, I just want to make the absolute best decision. And then against a certain player, I may have to vary from what I think is the best decision to, quote unquote, balance my play out a little bit so that they don't know, so that they can't, make better than average reads against my play. Obviously, if somebody picks up on the fact that I always lead out with strong hands, or I always lead out with certain types of hands, and I always check raise certain other types of hands, they'll be able to defend against that and exploit my play. However, how many players have you played against where you can actually tell, oh, I know that this guy makes this play with this type of hand? I mean, it doesn't happen too often. Oh, this guy's real loose and fishy, or that the player's tight, but you're not gonna know the specific details about how they play different hands unless you've played a lot with them. So that's sort of what I've been working on, and what I want to get more into is deciding not only the best hands to make what bets with, but what bet sizes to use in each situation. Which bet size is ideal for each situation, and then go from there. Because I think figuring out the absolute correct answer is key to figuring out when you need to deviate from that first. And I guess that all sounds really obvious, and I've talked about it before, but he mentioned it, and I've been doing some reading and some research, watching some other videos. And, it's just something that I think I need to work on. I need to sit down, put pencil to paper type of thing, and work on my game, review hands, go over different situations. Here, I'll call. It's under the gun. A lot of hands that he can do this with. Pretty interesting flop here. I think last time I let out, he folded. So I've got, a gut shot plus a backdoor flush draw plus an overcard. I'm going to go ahead and lead out again and see if he still likes his hand as much. And he flat calls, which is interesting because this is a raise where a lot of hands might raise. So when the 10 comes, I think that's pretty good because a lot of times people lead with weak hands. So I think I can actually represent that 10 a fair amount. And he, calls again. So I think he's probably either got a king or a queen a lot of times. And if he was calling with a draw, then he's then we're gonna chop it. Yeah, he had the queen. So that's unfortunate. All right, let's go ahead and raise this ace-8. So unfortunately, not having a great session so far, but we haven't really picked up too many hands, so that makes it tough. Man, this guy is How much is he 3-betting? He's 3-betting a lot. But I only have 14 hands.
He started off with, when he set down the table, he had like $17, I think. Oh no, that was Dr. Danny Dangles. I think you switched the tables. Never mind.
I'll just go ahead and throw in a light 4-bet, see what happens. I'll just bluff catch here. I mean, I think that he would have, if he had ace king, he probably is going to just raise again. So I'm just going to bluff catch if he's got a better hand. Now I've got equity, so that's good. I might as well jam here while I still have a little bit of equity left. So he had a better ace. Hopefully we hit a diamond. No luck. Damn. Oops.
Ugh.
All right, that's cool. Just battle back for the for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Maybe we'll probably have to go back and review. I'll put that one on the review next. You should start that one so we can review it later in the show or next weekend or whatever, so we can see if you actually think it was a good play or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, for one, I mean, flatting a 4-bet with ace queen is pretty ugly. I think maybe I needed to raise more. I think that in that spot, I probably should have made it a little bit bigger of a 4-bet, and then I could say, you know, flatting the 4-bet was really bad, because you shouldn't really be flatting 4-bets ever, especially like with ace queen offsuit. That's not a strong hand to flat 4-bets with, and like this guy doesn't really have any information on me. I haven't played with him that much, so there's no reason he would think I'm doing it light. But he clearly seems, even after a few hands, he seems kind of reckless. So we definitely just want to be playing for value against this type of guy.
He's just jammed again, so.
Right.
I mean, it's not saying he doesn't have a hand.
Aggressive. So maybe even like I think a bigger 4-bet probably would have been better there.
This kind of looks like. I guess he hit the flop, so I mean, yeah, ace queen is a good hand, but I don't know when someone 4-bets you on top of that. Yeah, I don't think he's going to fold it anyway. Honestly, do you think he's looking at the size of the bet? Do you think he's that kind of player?
Maybe not. Might be a good point.
I'm going to look him up on
yeah, poker table ratings.
Yeah. I always love doing this, and I recommend that anybody does this. If you think that someone's a good player, like because they have a lot of money and they just took a big pot off you, look them up on pokertableratings.com, and you will kill yourself because you'll be like, this guy is terrible, and I just lost everything. Dr. Donkey, he's on merge.
Oh shoot! I forgot to on YouTube. I can like click a button so that, you know, like how you sometimes you see a video in the lower corner of like another video, like it promotes it through in-video programming. I forgot to click that before I started it.
You don't have a gun near you, do you?
No, why?
Because his poker table rating is 12. He's ice cold.
Oh,
he has.
Well, I mean that's
20.
why I made the play, is because I thought he was bad and I thought he was weak.
Yeah,
so,
he is bad.
That more or less sort of justifies the play more than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
I think it does anyway.
He's lost $2,600 or 20,000 hands. Boom. That's pretty big. That's pretty big, right?
How much is he down?
$2,600 over 20,000 hands.
Yeah, it seems like a lot. So, yeah. No worries. No worries.
You'll get him next time. Value play him. They'll come. Don't worry. I'll be back.
Yeah. So the other thing that you know, I think is important is like I enjoy. Poker table ratings doesn't get all hands. It gets probably like, I don't know, like half to 2/3 of all hands. I don't know. It's got a lot of my hands. Like when I look myself up, it's pretty close, I guess. I don't know.
I think it has every one of my hands.
Really?
To the exact like model, like maybe because it's me. I don't know.
I don't know. Here we're getting 2-1 with Jack 10. We can definitely call in position.
I wouldn't say it's shit. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's better than like like come on, like even half your hands on 20,000 sample size. It's
Yeah.
And if it's randomly, if it's like a random half, like spaced out of the whole thing, and not just a chunk, then it's even probably a pretty good sample size.
All right, so he checks it to us. Maybe we can bluff the fish. Come on, one time. One time, let's bluff the fish.
Don't bluff the fish, man. The fish doesn't like to be bluffed. Oh, it worked. All right. You gonna 3-bet those queens, or you gonna like fold them?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I saw myself almost timing out.
Oh, you still have 10 seconds left, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I get nervous on this site. Like I was playing on Bovada yesterday. I was playing some 50 NL on Bovada, just messing around, and that's nice. You have a lot of time on Bovada. Although once you start sitting out, your time bank's like cooked. So like I remember that was like one annoying thing is that like once you do time down, it's like hard to get it back.
Here, it like resets every big blind. You get 10 more seconds, so you just gotta go around the table once. But
if I'm okay, so I just saw a comment on Twitch, and one thing, it's only 28 hands, but like, what Merzolzan? I think I've seen you in the chat before. Are you the guy that said he plays like 5-10 heads up? I don't remember. Somebody said they were telling me about like how they played 5-10 heads up. But anyway, why would I be c-betting every flop? I mean, do you mean double barreling every flop and turn? Because again, it's only 29 hands, but he doesn't look to have a large propensity for folding to the flop because he's only done it 13% of the time versus continuation bets. And I maybe should have slowed down a little bit on that raise. That felt a little quick.
Boom.
So we definitely want to bet here. There's plenty of stuff he can call with, and we don't need to bet huge. We can easily get it all in by the river if we just go bet at this point in a 3-bet pot.
What does he have? I mean, I don't think he hit. Maybe ace queen, ace king.
Yeah, king queen, jack queen, but he's got tons of queens in his range. He's got flush draws. He's got the ace high flush draw. Ace queen with the ace of spades isn't going anywhere ever. But that's fine. He could have floated also with a lot of hands. So. These guys both fold to steal a lot, so I can pretty much open any two on the button. Get the tag here, opening. Go ahead and throw him.
You call there?
I'll
yeah, I was raised. On raise, yeah. It's too weak to call, I would say. That's what I was thinking. Would you... I guess I'm running. If you were in like this big blind, would you still 3-bet that on that same thing?
See, that's what I'm kind of working on right now. Is that
I wouldn't, because I'd be out of position, and it's gonna be really hard to play out of position with ace.
Yeah, and so that's kind of like that's another thing that I was kind of working on. Is I read somewhere that was it's in a book that I'm reading right now. The author says. You want to, he mentioned something about like, well, here with, this, whatever it was, suited ace or queen 10 suited or something, from the big blind, I want to call because I don't like playing out of position. So I had to like call versus 3-bet because I don't like playing out of position. And so I guess what he probably meant was, or what he's saying is he doesn't want to play a 3-bet pot out of position, which makes sense. But obviously if you 3-bet, they're going to fold, and you're not going to have to play out of position as often.
If you call, you're definitely going to be playing out of position.
Right, so if you do that, there's a good chance that you won't. But, yeah, so I think that's one thing that I've been thinking about is, I guess if a guy's going to fold a ton to my 3-bet, I'd be more likely to open or 3-bet from the blinds. But if it's a guy that's going to be calling my 3-bets a lot, then I'll call from the blinds. So that's sort of how I think that needs to be handled, I guess. Well, A7 suited won't get me in shitty spots if I'm not going to stack off with ace high. Against the donk, I was willing to stack off ace high, but against, like a tag, I'm not going to be stacking off, ace high, because most tags aren't going to go wild. They'll make a C bet, and then they'll stop betting on the turn.
Yeah, you just gotta know what the hand is, like what you're gonna use his hand for. Like exactly, don't stack off with A7 suited unless you hit the nuts flush. Another thing is calling there. I think is it basically you don't get enough equity to call. You have to 3-bet that because you need that fold equity the times that he is gonna fold. So
yeah, I mean you definitely can call there, but I think that one, raising is going to make it much easier to play. And it's probably going to make you more money. So there's a spot where I decided to lead out again. I've got an overpair and an open-ended straight, so like I'm not folding to any raises, and it makes them fold out all their overcards, which are going to be just very, very difficult. If they check around and like even a 10 or a jack falls, it's going to just be tough to get to showdown with the best hand after that. So it's easier just to lead out. This is kind of a similar situation. I'm just going to go ahead and lead out here also. Lead out and then fold to any kind of raise. All right, bye. All right, see ya. Yeah, so anyway. Apologize for that rude interruption.
just checking down. Has he got jack?
Nah, so in that spot I lead out and he calls with king queen. That's probably noteworthy. I'll go ahead and take a note. I just said he called the. So here, this guy's really aggressive. He's super aggressive, like post flop. So I'd rather call and play in position. If I hit a big hand here, I can stack him. If I 3-bet, I kind of turn. I'm sort of like over-repping my hand. Yeah, it's not a great flop, but I'm definitely gonna call once. And the fact that he checks is kind of strange. For a guy that c-bets 92% of the time, I would say that he has to have like complete air here or.
Huge hand, monster.
Right. Yeah,
King, queen, suited. I think I always have to worry.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and check down and fold to any bet. Well, now it gets a little complicated. Well, I don't think he would check a flush here.
He wouldn't check it. No way. Yeah, I would bet.
So I think
he's an idiot.
We can bet here for value.
What do you have?
Jack king.
What?
That's a sort of strange call on the flop, right? Like, that's sort of a weird flop call. I'm not sure how I feel about his flop call there.
Especially with the flush on there. Like, 70% of the time he's got, one heart. He didn't have a single heart.
Yeah.
You're going nowhere. Fucking nowhere.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. Alright, so we'll go ahead and open here. So, also, Shark, I'm not sure, but so on the last show, one thing we talked about was, they're not really being like, one, a need, and two, one thing I thought about with varying my bet sizes, like all the way down, was that, like in the cutoff, when you're raising smaller, you're giving the, all right, we're deep with Danny Dangles, and we're getting 2-1. I'm going to go ahead and call. Just because we're slightly deep here.
Yeah, and
this is actually not a bad board to check raise, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Because like my call is going to, and he checks back, which is probably pretty smart, but now I'm going to try to see if I can get to showdown. If he has ace-king or ace-queen or ace-jack, then he's not doing anything with it. And then I'm going to check call the river. Because I think he's got like an ace, like ace queen. So we'll see. Oh, that's how it's done.
Ace king.
Can't peg it much closer. And that's the thing is, like, this guy looks like he's super aggressive, right? I mean, he's like a 19-15 tag, 29 aggression percentage on the flop. But at 4NL and 10NL, these guys are actually more passive than even their stats suggest. Like, they're just not as aggressive. So that's why you have to realize that, before I would have been like, turning my twos into a bluff or whatever else. And yeah, that probably would have worked. But a lot of times you can just check down with the best hand and people won't challenge it as much as I guess thought they were going to be doing. So
What's on your HUD there? What's your post flop stat that you look at there for aggression? Aggression percentage 29.
Yeah, that's how often they take an aggressive action. Like the percentage of times they make an aggressive action on the flop when they have the option. Whereas
this guy
aggression factor is like a ratio, and it's not quite as, I guess it doesn't quite converge as quickly, or it's the number of times they took an aggressive action to the number of times it's similar but slightly different. I forget exactly what it is, but I guess this one's more, I don't know, relevant or something. Maybe somebody in the chat can explain it a little better. I have a feeling there's 2 or 3 people in the chat who know exactly what the difference is.
So 20. So he's not really he's only aggressive pre-flop, looks like here, because his aggressive percentage is 29, where the guy above him is 61. So he's
60. Like I think like average is like 25, something like that. So
okay. All right, so he's just kind of plays regular then.
This guy's short. Yeah, so we've got like the fish to our right here. We're not going to leave this table until this guy leaves. And then on this table, obviously, we've got a few loose players. So these are good tables. They're solid. One thing I will recommend is that have 3-bet more.
Yeah, he says you have to 3-bet more. I thought you've been pretty aggressive. What's your 3-bet percentages for this session on your head?
Only 7%, so I haven't been 3-betting a ton, but there haven't been a lot of, like, I don't know, I haven't seen tons of great spots for it. This isn't 5-10, man. Relax. You get me, like, you guys come down from the higher stakes and try to make me play all crazy aggressive. Things don't go that well, so do my thing. Trust me.
People just call. Just call everything. Now you would think, like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to call, but you just got to value play them, because they're going to call. They're like calling stations. So it's very simple. You get these freaking guys who just limp in, with nothing. They hit their trips or, some 2-pair, something ridiculous,
Well, and that's the thing is, like, you just need to be, like, when you're playing these guys, you just need to be able to, you just can't get in love with your hand. Like, even like Dr. Donkey, like, that ace-8 probably, I don't know, if I look at that, like, it's probably bad. But the guy's 3-betting 28% over 40 hands. I mean, that hasn't converged yet, but, like, I'm guessing he's a fishy donkey, like, fishy aggro donkey. Here, like, I've got a tight guy, in the blinds, Jack 9 offsuit. It's a little weak, but I can go ahead and open it, hopefully steal, or get heads up with, like, the fish, David NW. This isn't David. It's not David Williams, is it? I always see that on Twitch.
You should make a picture and put on your website of a half fish, half donkey, like in a rage.
Doing something
like
aggressive.
Steaming from his nostrils. I don't know what donkeys do aggressive, but yeah, the fishy aggro dog.
Yeah.
Bred only on carbon site.
Yeah. So you know what I think I've noticed is that I'm streaming in the Magic the Gathering channel. I think that, like, my stream is inverse of the new set releases. So, like, as the new set gets older and older, my channel will get, like, more and more interesting. Because I feel like this is, like, a better turnout than we've had the last few weeks, because the new set was just, everybody was all about the gate crash set or whatever.
Someone said this is kitty poker.
I saw that. I wasn't responding.
Oh. Well, is it dumb stop? No, dub stop. What do you play? Like, what limit do you play? And what's your name? What's your poker name? Look you up.
No, I mean it's it's low stakes poker. I think
it's an art.
Self-evident by the buy-in. I don't think that's news to anyone.
It's not an easy thing to do, especially if you're used to playing high stakes poker. It's a different game, a lot, I think. I don't know what this means. You should jack TP
on a very dry. About the jack with the paired board. The thing is like jack isn't the thing I don't like about that, and I'm not saying I'm not saying you're wrong, but the reason that I don't prefer it is because like things get pretty uncomfortable when you get overcards, like on the turn and river. So like I'm not like as crazy about dealing with those situations.
If you were to check it, like you're ahead, like you want to get the money in, like.
Well, I think and you can explain it a little bit if you want, but I think you're saying for like deception and for, like deception,
yeah,
mostly, or to make him like, bet the turn and get a little bit more value. But I mean, it could be right. I think that. It depends on like how strong your top pair is, though. Like I don't think you want to be checking back your like weak top pairs because they're really vulnerable. Like you're not looking for a ton of value, or at least I'm not.
I mean, maybe I'm not really the best poker player. I'll admit that. But generally, I read a lot of books, and a lot of them just say stay away from slow playing. Like you're gonna lose more money slow playing things than you will. Just betting. That's what you're going to make your money when you bet in someone else's hand. I don't know, were you going to say something? Disagree with that point?
Yeah.
Were you going to disagree with that?
There's some debate in the chat about it too, so I'm not too... I don't think it's a hugely, right now, I'm more worried about, lopping off, the C game, as Tommy Angelo puts it. I'm looking for all the perfect plays in each spot, like I said earlier, but I don't know, maybe hit it up during a hand review. Here, this guy never folds to 3-bets, but I think that there's probably a little bit more value in calling with Jack Ace because, he's going to have so many weak hands that, I can get paid, and obviously this is a really weak lead.
3-bet him?
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and raise it up on this, but that's kind of weak too. Here I can definitely 3-bet the king queen. It's strong enough to play for. Oh shoot, that's not what I should have done. I should have called and let fucking Dr. Donkey squeeze, and then I could have come back over the top or done something crazy. That's getting a little fancy play. Oh wow, he calls anyway. Wow, that's really impressive. This is not a good flop. This is a bad flop on the right.
And you're out of position, which is terrible.
Yeah, this isn't going well. Nothing's going well. It's all wrong. Man, I'm somehow gaining money though. That's cool. I feel like I'm not playing super hot, but I'm gaining money. All right, so now we've got an open-ended straight draw and nobody bet out. So let's go ahead and try and take this thing down. I don't think too many people are gonna check around. Whoa, man, that was easy. Crazy. I know you guys are crazy. You're trying to get me to 3-bet more. I'm looking at Queen 10 in the small blind versus the guy who never folds. No. I don't want to 3-bet that. I would 3-bet a tag here with Queen 10 offsuit because he's just going to fold so much. But this guy folds 0% of the time. 0 times. He's not folding. So, I mean... I'll 3-bet my value hands against this guy. I'll call here with Queen 9 when he opens, if he opens. He min raises. That's weird. I'm just gonna call.
So somebody says that so it makes sense. He says that if he never folds, you're ahead a lot of the time, so you're gonna make more value out of him. However, playing out of position, with a bad hand is not gonna be an easy task, even to take money from a fish. And if you look, he limps in. Well, I don't know your stats here. He limps in 52% of the time and raises pre-flop raises 18%. Is that what that says on him? Crazy.
Yeah, well, yeah, his VPIP is 52 and he calls 18 or something. This is a pretty easy
Yeah.
ball. And I want to also build
So
this thing up. If he calls here, he'll probably call any river.
so he probably limps in a bunch, but he only pre-flop raises his premium hands. He probably calls a bunch. He's a better passive player, just throwing money in the pot. So, I don't think that when 3-betting him after he puts a pre-flop raise in is a good idea because obviously look at he's doing that with his premium hands. 3-betting him when he limps in or calls and or 4-betting him after someone that's when you want to get him. Does that make sense? Does that what I'm saying make sense to you there, Rounder? There, or
Yeah, so I was pretty focused on this table on the left.
Sorry.
Yeah, so he ended up having a 7 and calling the flop, and then turning an ace and calling, and then I ended up hitting on the river. So I'm gonna check call this flop by Dr. Donkey for sure. Sorry, I was just timing down thinking about that hand. So kind of talk to me about your point again.
Okay, so they said that that you should 3-bet crazy, but he's only pre-flop raising his premium hands 19%.
Yeah, this guy's
generally
playing, sorry on the right. He's playing pot control with a weak hand, so he's played this actually pretty well. I think he's got a weak hand, but he should call with most of his weak hands on the river, unless he had a 5. That would be annoying. So yeah, he had ace. Oh, he actually turned the queen, so he bet and then he checked when he got some value on the turn. So that worked out fine for me. I think I'm cool with it. And we're battling back here. So I think I got a little out of line early on. Maybe just trying to get some excitement going early. But I think we're good now. We're in our groove. We're playing. We've got a couple fish at the tables. Shark. That whole the whole topic that it just depends on the hand. Like it depends. I agree with that. I agree with that in position with strong hands. But like again, like Shark was saying, out of position, it's okay. Yeah, my hand may be ahead. And I may be able to get him to fold a fair amount, but it's going to still be very difficult. I can play hands in position with bigger stack to pot ratios where a fish is going to make more mistakes. If I'm making the pots, the pot to stack ratio smaller, it makes it easier for him to play correct post flop. So, that's I don't know. That's kind of what I think. I guess I think he would have also once I saw what his hand was. But do you think his entire range, like, I don't know. I mean, I obviously thought about shoving on that flop a second ago, but it just seemed like it would be really strong. Like he might for some reason fold if I bet. He wasn't a guy that was reloading, so like I don't know. I went ahead, I made a slightly smaller bet because I didn't want to look super strong, so would he have called? Probably. Do I get more calls ever when I bet slightly less? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I mean, I 3-bet a fair amount. Like, I don't think I have a super low 3-bet percentage. I mean, I 3-bet like 7% overall. Like overall. Let me see here. Yeah, over my 16, almost 17,000 hands at these lower stakes. I mean, my 3-bet's over 7%. So yeah, I 3-bet a fair amount, but I'm not trying to go crazy.
Oh shit! You have to wait for the big blind again on that hand. That's terrible.
What? How did that happen?
Because you stood up in the small blind. That's fucking a nightmare.
God, I miss good poker software. This stuff's not bad, but I mean, it's probably like Carbon, Bovada, and then, or like, so like this. I mean, this is a pretty easy spot to like 3-bet. Obviously, he's gonna be stealing a lot. He's gonna be folding to my 3-bet a lot. When and how how much? What are we talking about?
He said up there you need to learn when and how to 3-bet, and he's like, what do you mean when and how? He's like, when and how much? So basically he said that you need to learn how to 3-bet.
Okay, fair enough. Working on it.
3-bet everything. Let's just go.
I mean, yeah, I just, I don't know. The thing is like, you know, do you just 3-bet all the time, like out of position? Do you ever call versus 3-betting, or, you know, do you just want to 3-bet all the time? And, you know, obviously you want to 3-bet some sort of like, you know, polarized range, but, you know, I mean, I don't know. Last I checked, 7 was like pretty standard for a tag. Like overall, I mean, I'm sure it's much higher from like the button. I don't think 7. I think 7's kind of what I was thinking was appropriate, but I mean 7 or 8 about the same. You know, like I could see either of those. It's probably higher than 7 right now. Like if I filter, let me actually here. Let's filter last 1,000 hands. My last 1,000 hands, my 3-bet is 8.8%. So almost 9% in my last 1,000 hands. You know, like this to me does not look like a good spot to 3-bet. Like yeah, the guy's loose, but I'm gonna 3-bet 9-10 offsuit out of position. Like I'm not 3-betting that. That doesn't seem like it's gonna be very fun.
That's not good. That's funny. I don't know why. It's not gonna be very fun. Yeah, it sounds like a fucking nightmare.
So, yep. For you know, no, I'm not offended at all. I'm just trying to get better at poker. That's all. So no worries there.
You said you coach. You said you teach students. Are you on any of the websites? Morozo Lazana. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name.
So here, Jack 10 I think is good enough to like open to 3x versus 2x, and then yeah, I'm just gonna let it go. This guy's probably got a pretty strong range. Ace Jack, he's 3-betting 7s, so I would have called this raise. Obviously, it would have been pretty tough to play, but. He's got oh shit! Oops. I didn't see that this guy had opened, so we're going with the min clickback 3-bet here. This is this is a little more advanced. Don't try this at home. This is the stuff you guys don't want to mess around with too much. This is oh my gosh.
This is terrible. Who claiming he just called? Don't call it.
I have to. Look at the odds I'm getting.
You hit that 3.
Yeah.
Boom. All in.
I probably shouldn't fold here, but he's like on overcards so often. Oh god.
So
that was all right. Just just forget about that one. We'll edit that out.
Cut the stream.
Yeah, pull the plug. Oops.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll figure it out.
Play your game, son. What did you think? How did you like the content, the quality? The message. Of the videos.
Hey, yeah. Thanks for.
Always like feedback.
I'm not.
Always like feedback.
Oh shoot! Oops,
Always like feedback, try to make the videos better, make what people want. So it's
yeah, so
extremely
here I'll
interactive.
3-bet jacks just because these guys are both. I have no problem getting in with jacks against Dr. Donkey, and this guy is loose, so you know, make a squeeze with jacks for value. Like normally I wouldn't necessarily squeeze jacks, but I can definitely do it like for value against these guys. And then here I can definitely like bet for value again. Like he's gonna call with worse than a king here. He'll fold sometimes too, which is fine. Like a fold is like cool, good. Glad he folded. It's probably like the thing I want the most, but he's not always going to. Here, like fours, looking at my opponents, I don't really have any fish in the blind, so that's like a spot where I'll fold fours under the gun. You know, I've talked about it in some other videos how like 2s through 4s don't play so hot from under the gun, and unless you have a reason to open them, you can just let them go. I don't really have a reason to be opening 4s right now at this table. I've got a new player here. Don't know if he's a fish or not. If he's not, I'll probably go ahead and move tables. This table's pretty tight, so I don't really see a ton of value sticking around. Maybe I can find a better, looser table. Let me see what's going on here. Actually,
How's the YouTube viewers going?
there's a few of them over there. I don't know what the not a lot of action in the chat, but you know, it's going. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit out next big blind. If something dramatic changes, I'll change my mind on that. But
So what's your new project you're working on there, you Rounder? You got anything in the works? I know you're talking about your new kind of chart you're working on, your post flop chart, kind of how to play it.
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, just like I was talking about earlier, working on. I kind of want to just like really like no kidding sit down and go through like all the different. Just all the different kind of situations that come up post flop, because there's a lot of them, and there's a good, you know, there's a best way to handle like each one. So like I think that, you know, in every spot there's like a best way to play it against a certain type of player, and I want to just kind of be able to use it as a study tool to essentially put in like, hey, here's my hand, here's the player type I'm against, here's the flop. Okay, now, you know, or here are a bunch of flops. You know, put them into the categories. Like, which flops are you check raising? Which flops are you check calling? Which ones are you leading out? You know, like as pre-flop raiser, as pre-flop caller. You know, all those different things have different, you know, different things you want to do with them. So, I don't know. So that's sort of where I'm at with that. Again, I think maybe at high stakes you need to play them all, but I really don't think that you need to play. If you're not making money with those hands, you don't need to play them, and I don't think you need to play. Like there's very few hands like you need to play to be profitable. Now,
I remember we had like a.
What's up?
I remember you had a really long discussion about probably like an hour discussion about 2-2 and 4-4 under the gun, and I remember you saying like. I remember we watched some Deuces Crack videos on it and stuff like that, and it's just we never thought it was really worth it, because like even if you do hit your set, there's a lot of times when you're gonna be outsetted, you know, and that's gonna be fucking terrible, you know. And then like if your other opponents aren't deep stacked as well, like you may have a full stack, but if other people you're playing after you don't have a full stack in position out, because like it's I don't know. I agree with the play you made. So it's all about applied odds.
Damn it! Are you kidding me? How does he show up with aces here? Oh my god! Boom! There it is. That's how we roll. Got it.
He just shot himself in the head. Pull the plug.
It's all good. Don't worry about that. Sorry, that might have been loud. Hopefully the my mic is high enough quality to have not have. Oh, here we go. Also, let me go ahead and sit out. Sit out next hand. Stand up. Oh, shoot. I was going to move to the left of that guy. Okay, we'll just... This guy's kind of donkish. All right, well, I've got another table pulled up, so we'll just tile these. See what's happening. And this table kind of stinks. So, oh, sorry. Quick break here. Well, because the fish, I'm not, okay, the 3x from the button is for the deep stacked fish, not for the short guy. I understand the short guy is a problem, but I'm more, first of all, that short guy was getting it in with nothing, so I was going to call him anyway, and, like, I was going to call it with him anyway, like, the short stack's getting in with nothing, the other guy's, like, loose and fishy, so, you know, it is what it is. I don't feel bad.
Yeah, what would you feel? You know how many times that's happened to me? Screw that guy. You know,
like the fact that he wakes up with aces is not like he's 3-betting 40%. Aces are the like a very small part of his range.
Nothing makes me more upset when there's like some guy who's out of control, and the one time you try to take your spot and take him down, like he shows up with aces or ridiculous hand. You're just like, what? Like.
Right, like that's lucky. He put himself in a good situation by being aggro like that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, that's if you're very aggressive, then you're gonna get stuff like that. You're gonna get like somebody who adjusts by like getting it in with with sixes, which like I got it. Like that may not be like highly profitable, but against what else do you do against a guy who is 3-betting 40% of the time? I mean, you have to kind of put up a fight at some point. So, the fact that I did it when he had aces is like unfortunate, but it doesn't make it, necessarily terrible. And the fact that I'm opening 3x to a guy who is like crazy aggro and loose, and I think I'll be able to make a little bit of money off of, I don't think is necessarily bad either. So, I don't know. I don't think that was quite as ugly as it looked. If the guy turned up with like ace jack, everyone would have been like, oh, standard. Like, I don't know. I'm not worried about it, but you know what? We're winning now, so it's all good. We're up in equity today, just FYI, so no big deal. He bets out the ace. I think a lot of hands can do that. And we'll fold to a bet here. If he bets the river, we can fold. If he checks, we'll check behind. Because everything got there, right? Like if he was on like some sort of straight draw, it got there. If he has the ace, it got there. If he has hearts, it got there. There's literally like nothing that he could have really been like calling the flop and then betting the turn with that didn't get there. So I think it's a really easy fold on the river.
It seems like there's a lot of people like it's very critiquey today. I like it. You don't get a lot of like feedback a lot of times, but it seems like a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about your play today.
What's that?
Never mind.
I was reading and I didn't pick up.
I said it's like the environment is very like critiquey. Like people have a lot of strong feelings about your play. It's nice. These people they're getting involved. It's all about involvement.
It's all good.
Yeah.
No, I've been like I said, I've been trying to like step outside my comfort zone a lot lately, and it's like We also have like two different ends. We have like some people are saying like I'm not being nearly aggressive enough. Some people are saying I'm being like way too crazy. So there's like a lot of different sort of ideas going on. But the main thing that I'm trying to work on is just taking down more pots. And okay, so here I just want to min raise, obviously.
I agree with that. Sorry, go ahead.
But like but yeah. So that's the big thing I'm trying to get better with is my red line. And if I look today, my red line's only down like a few dollars. It was about break even. It's down a couple bucks. And so that's what I'm trying to get better at. And I'm just trying to kind of stay within reason here with respect to, my showdowns. Like I don't want to like lose every showdown because I'm trying to go crazy with my red line. And I think to find that balance, you just have to, get outside your comfort zone and play some hands and see what works and what doesn't, because you're not going to learn that it doesn't work if you don't try it. So, there's a reason that I'm trying a lot of this stuff at low stakes, is I want to have some of the stuff figured out, because really like player types are player types, and so if you know the player type, it doesn't change that much between 10 NL and 100 NL. A guy who's playing 33-17 with a 2 aggression factor and similar post flop stats like isn't going to play too much differently than that same guy with those same stats at 100 NL. So I mean, I would much rather kind of try this stuff all out, figure it all out, and then go from there.
I agree with what I'll go back to the chat here. Play your game, son. I agree with what he says. Like if you get too crazy at these limits, like it's gonna bite you in the ass. And I honestly agree with that. Like I think that's like there's a lot of plays you make because you think that like they're watching you and like your bet sizing these micro stakes. They have no idea. These are one dimensional people. They're only thinking about their hand and that's it. They're not trying to read you. They're not they're not putting you on hands.
Right,
it's
exactly. But they're still playing according to. That's the thing, though. If you realize that, okay, this guy's just looking at his hand, it makes his hand a lot easier to read. And so, like, you may think, oh, well, he's just going to call down every time. But that's really not true. Like, if he's just playing his hand, he's still going to have to fold a lot. And if he's not thinking about what I'm doing and what I'm seeing, then he's just going to be like, oh, my cards aren't good enough to call, I fold. He's not going to be thinking about the fact that, like, if I'm... It's almost like sometimes I can do stuff that you wouldn't be able to do at higher stakes because a lot of times people will pick up on, like I remember one of the first times I moved up to 100 NL, I remember this hand because it didn't go well. And
those are the ones you always remember.
Yeah, so I think what happened was I raised pre-flop and the flop had like 3... It was like 3-6, 9 or something like that. It was like 3-6-9, and I checked the flop. I had like ace king or something, and this may sound just like completely standard or whatever, but to me it was really like mind blowing and kind of opened my eyes up to what different opponents were looking and like what they were thinking about. 100 NL is 50 cents a dollar, so I checked the flop, and another 3 came. And I don't remember exactly what happened at that point. I think either my opponent bet and I raised, or he checked and I bet. I don't remember the exact action, but pretty much like the action, I ended up, I think, maybe raising, and then he checked the river and I like shoved all in. And he called me with pocket 2s. And I had ace high. And I just remember like being like, what the hell, like what an, thinking like, oh my God, this guy's like crazy. He's an idiot. What the hell was he doing? And I even wrote in the chat, I was like, how the hell did you make that call? He goes, well, you never checked that flop. There was a flush draw out there. You never checked that flop with.
Exactly. If you don't,
I think there might have been 2 3s on the flop, and like another one came, and I was like trying to rep I don't know. I was trying to rep like a set of 3s or something crazy, and he pretty much said like, well, that doesn't work because I should not have bet there. That was a bad lead, because I don't want to be leading with like medium strength hands. I want to be check calling or check raising with like medium strength hands. I want to be leading with like strong hands and strong draws. That was a bad lead. I was telling my story, not paying attention. That's the other thing, guys. Like you got to also realize that I probably like am automatically playing my B game when I'm doing this. Like when I like play by myself and put up a video, I think my play is generally quite a bit stronger. So anyway. I think the 3s may have been on the flop, but he was just pretty much like, oh, well, you'll never check a set there. You'll never check trips there with the flush draw out. He was like, you can now though. And I was like, oh, God, I need to move back down, because I was just like, this guy's now realized he's like, yeah, you couldn't have done that before, but now you can because I've seen you do it. And so like I was just like, oh boy, like these guys are really thinking about their hand. They're thinking about my hand. Like, they're taking everything into consideration, and yeah.
I think even beyond that, I have this little cheat sheet that I have a bunch of cheat sheets from like Juices Cracked and stuff like that. But this is the one that Central Rounder gave me. It says, "Think before you act. don't go all in unless you have the nuts. So
I did not say that. I did not give you. That's what you translated some of your mistakes to. No, I said if you think somebody's bluffing, the answer isn't to shove all in. Because you kept saying like, oh, I don't think this guy has anything. I shove, and I'd be like, well, you have top pair, or you have a small pair, you have a hand. Like what? Why are you doing that? All right, I gotta focus on playing because I have no idea what's going on the table. So I'm gonna buckle back down on playing, and you can check out the chat and stuff a little bit. See if there's anything on. No, nothing in the YouTube chat. Not too many people over here on YouTube. Don't know why, but it's nice because the show will go up directly, like right as the show ends. It'll go up on YouTube. I don't have to worry about like formatting it and editing it and uploading it. So that should be kind of cool. This guy's super tight. These guys are all pretty tight. I've got this one short stack fish here. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and sit out the next big blind because I don't see a lot of point in being on that table. This table is pretty good if this person's a fish like they look like.
Yeah, we're not on YouTube because I guess I could go monitor the YouTube chat. Next time I'll bump over to YouTube chat and I'll do both. Yeah, I mean, because you got me spinned up on basically where it streams at, so that's my fault, and I'll get on that.
It's all good. Just YouTube.
I'm reading
/unexceptionalrounder.
I'm reading Shelder123's comment here. I'm trying to come up with a intelligent response. So let me give me a second here.
All right.
Why three betting short stacks? That is bad. I guess.
Sorry, I'm trying to set up some. No. Oh, okay, that's the one I want. This guy's super tight. These guys are.
All right, I guess he makes. I don't know. He just kind of says like a generic thing here. So I was just saying he said he hates mid raising and mid betting, and I watched a really good video on Deuces Correct about that. Basically, it says that if you have a short stack to act to the left of you, so to act next, you can use min bet or limp in and these kind of things because it makes them play deep stacked. Makes them have to play like the deep stack post flop.
Increases the stack to pot ratio.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, they're super uncomfortable in this environment and with so much money behind. And they have never played the flop. They're not good at it. They're terrible. So that's when you want to use these min bets and to pretty much make them play, a full stack rather than a min stack or a short stack that they're used to, and really get them out of their comfort zone. Which goes back to what Ronder said basically about donk betting and stuff like that. People look at that and they're like, whoa, or like limping in. Sometimes it's good to throw in because people don't know. They've seen 1,000 times when people going in with pots, right? Like pre-flop raising pot size bet, but someone limping in and somebody donk betting you, it kind of throws them off their game. So I said an interesting article on Deuces Correct also was like, they said I think it was like 80% of the time, so like 20% of the time you're playing, yeah, that's one. 20% of the time you're playing standard play, whatever you want, boom, these are the things. 80% of the time you're adjusting to your opponent, so it's I wouldn't shy away from mid raising or mid betting. I think as far as standard play, they're bad, but there's always reasons to use every kind of strategy, especially for your opponent. So.
Also, if you're talking about the button, the min raise on the button, that's actually pretty standard.
Yeah, and actually it's a really bad habit to break because every time I play, I can never force myself to min raise on the button because I'm so kind of like I'm robotic, pot size rate, boom. Pot size rate, boom. It's just for me at least.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone over that in a bunch of other videos, so I'm not going to beat it to death in this.
Yeah, it's actually pretty. It's basically like don't limp in. It's kind of that kind of rule, and somebody donk betting you.
king high flops, I actually like something interesting. I was going through my continuation betting stats, and I found that continuation bets are actually more successful on king high flops for me, and I think the reason is because so many players like love calling with aces. Like any like small ace, they're not going to fold the flop, and so I found that I have much more success c betting king high flops, and obviously when someone raises, there's a pretty good chance that they have a hand. And versus c bet, he has not raised a continuation bet very often at all. So obviously I don't have any equity. There's really nothing I can do here. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold. That's the thing is, like, if I have equity, that's like when I'll be more inclined to make moves and do interesting things. But the other than that, without any equity, I'm just gonna respect raises for the most part, especially at the small stakes. Players just aren't as capable of making big moves, especially on the turn. I don't see players bluffing the turn too often.
So Sheldon said that if players see someone donk bet or min bet, they're more likely to bluff if they see that. And that's exactly what we want to happen. That's why you do that kind of stuff when you have a big, like, you don't min bet to bluff, or you min bet when you have a hand. Like.
Well, I don't like. Why are we talking about min betting? I don't think I've min bet this video.
No. He just made a comment about it. He said he didn't like. Yeah. So yeah.
The only thing I've done is min raise the button, but I don't think I've made any other min bets or min raises. Oh, maybe somebody actually min raised me a minute ago. Maybe that's what it was. So yeah, that's all I can think of. But yep. So let's check out our tables here. Fish here, fish type player here. Fish to our right, fish across the table. Yeah, those tables are probably better than the one I have pulled off screen. The one I have off screen, so we'll keep those up.
I will be right back.
All right, no problem. Pretty awesome turnout this show. Oh, you know what? One thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, I put it up. Posted it right before the show started. Oh, also, welcome to the forums. Everyone who's joined the forums, really pumped to see some people on there. I think it could be pretty good tool. So if you haven't checked it out, you definitely head over to unexceptionalrounder.com and sign up for the forums. Go in, introduce yourself, say hi, all that good stuff, and then check out some of the hands people have posted, and hopefully we can get some good discussion going. Post hands, talk about them, we'll learn, and it should be pretty good. And then also, I've got as I think most of you guys probably know, I have a new rakeback site that I started up, and on my website there's like a special offer that if you guys sign up, I'm gonna click on it right now so I can see what it says, but I put it up, and it's just like a special offer that if you guys sign up and can send me your confirmation, not confirmation number, but should be able to confirm like who signed up. Send me your confirmation number. Then I'll do an hour of free like coaching, hand review, whatever. So we'll go through some of your hands, or if you're a new player, if you haven't played much, just help you get set up with how to play. Go through, kind of show you guys the basics. Nothing crazy, but I definitely think that it would for new players. Like obviously, if you're a lot of these guys in the chat, this is not non-applicable. But if you guys do go ahead and sign up through my rake back, that's like not only do you get the rake back and the bonuses and stuff, but I'll go ahead and throw something in just to thank you guys for using my site to sign up for it. So I wanted to find a way to add some value to to you guys using my rakeback versus one of the other million rakeback options on the internet, and that was the best thing I could come up with is offer an hour of free coaching to help you guys get started. And so yeah, that's there. Definitely shoot me an email or a message if you're interested, or if you have questions about it. If you just go to unexceptionalrounder.com, and then here, let me go back to the main page. While we've got a minute, ace 8, we'll just min raise that. So yeah, unexceptionalrounder.com. Bam. Go ahead, main site. Go to Rakeback. This, if you click Rakeback, it takes you to my Rakeback site. If you go to special Rakeback offers, it'll pull up the whoops. What? Rude. I promise my website works. Let me refresh that. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't pull up. So if you go to offers, you can see it's got, I just talk about some of the different sites, some of the different offers. And I don't just have these sites. You can go here and click for all the European sites. I just kind of featured some of the US sites. But yeah, so I don't know. Check that out if you're interested. Sign up and then I'll do a free hour of coaching. I'll probably make a Facebook announcement about it soon, but I kind of wanted to see how many people took the offer and everything before I post it on Facebook and do anything else with it, just to see if it's something that you guys that you like or care about. I know some other guys have signed up. If you've already signed up for my Rakeback at my other site, feel free to yeah, feel free to just shoot me a message and let me know.
554-3412.
Shark Slayer Mount Fuji flag is making a bunch of noise.
The address, because I didn't get it.
So anyway, if you guys have questions about it right now. Oh, nice. Darren, glad to hear it. Thanks. I think, what, is your name? I think I've seen you on Facebook and stuff, yeah. I think I know who you are. This guy hasn't 3-bet yet, so King 9's not the hand I would really want to get into a battle about over. Oh, gosh. Sit in, please. Sorry, I was distracted trying to pull up my website stuff. Yeah. I saw that missed 3-bet. I was distracted. My bad. Like I said, I've got 3 monitors up, multitasking, so this definitely isn't my my A+ game, unfortunately. But that's okay. This weekend I should get some time to play, I hope, and I'll probably try to put out like a 4-tabling video, a review video where I just kind of go through and review some hands I played. Yeah, actually the Juicy Stakes deal is similar for like the first 3 months at least. Like if you sign up, if you go to that site I just showed you guys, I talk about it, but at Juicy Stakes, if you sign up through there, you end up getting like 51% rakeback through it. And then Bovada, I mean, I like Bovada just because the games are so soft. Sorry. I was trying to decide what to do. I got to get back in the game a little bit here. Bovada has a sign-up bonus that you can get, so you can go get if you sign up for, the sign-up bonus, I'll still do the free hour of coaching. So pretty much if you guys use any of my stuff on my website, for poker sites anyway, like rakeback or bonuses or whatever it is, then I'll honor that deal. And if you've already signed up through the one I was using, which was like a different website that wasn't owned by me, then I'll still honor that too. So it's all cool. Stream what?
786.
Man, the camera's on the entire time, wasn't that?
Yeah.
That's not good.
What were you doing? I wasn't looking.
1-2.
Sweet. I'm sure people were just getting some good action.
786-554-3412.
I'll tell you that.
I was trying to figure out the food situation.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Hope you all are paying customers.
Apartment 3701.
Yeah, well, it happens. Happens to the best of us. I didn't see anything too crazy over there. What does this guy have? Is he betting 40 cents for the king? I'm so sorry. This is a table off screen. I'm a little lost. No idea what's going on. Yeah, but I don't want to stream every time I play. Like I don't play necessarily as well when I'm streaming, and then yeah, even if I don't talk, I mean it's not. I don't know. I did a lot of streaming for a while and it was all right, but there certainly are some disadvantages to streaming all the time. People will know exactly how I play. Yeah, I didn't know about that with merge. I just do. I haven't actually cashed out from a poker site in a while, so I'm not sure how long it'll take or anything like that. But I just do checks, so that's my style. But yeah, Shark, I was just telling them about on my website. I put in a special rakeback offer to do a free hour of coaching for anybody that signs up through one of my rakeback site. Just as like a little bonus, and that it's backdated. So anyway, that's
also there's you can send in your video and get a free leak finder.
Oh yeah. I haven't gotten a leak finder video in a while. I don't know where you guys are at, but every time I get one of those, I'll probably do them. We got a question for Shark about the background audio. I think some people are wondering about that.
There was no background. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I'm watching Devil Wears Prada.
All right.
And it was in the background. Yeah,
right.
I love that movie.
Yeah, nobody's curious about the random leg.
Sure. Just put your leg down.
Sorry.
There's nothing to see here.
Here, like I like calling better. I've got a fish in the big blind. I've got ultimate position. I'm gonna have a position the whole hand, and I'm gonna, I can 3-bet the fish, and yeah, I understand they probably won't fold, but I can call and get a call from the fish here, and then potentially, get a really good flop. 3-betting, yes, it's gonna win the pot sometimes, but sometimes when I call, I'll be able to win like a huge flop. So.
Instead of shoving, I'll just get one from my fridge.
What?
Kind of want to shove? No.
Are we trying to read their chat? If I could find you, I'd slit your throat and rape your family. Wow, that's really aggressive. I told you, man. This is like WoW, like video games. People talk trash, like poker. When you start involving money, things escalate quickly. Even, you know what? Like, I wonder if you see more stuff like that down at like 4 and 10 NL than you do at like 200 and 400 NL. Like,
yeah, didn't you? Oh yeah, because people are just like, yeah.
I think if you're playing 400 NL, like you've got the money for it. If you're playing, 4 or 10 NL, it might. I feel like it's more likely that somebody playing 10 NL, $10 is more to them than $400 is to somebody playing 400 NL as like a ratio percentage type thing.
Also, people playing 400 NL have the experience to know, like, tough beat, whatever. At 10 NL, they don't even know. Like, honestly, they don't have enough hands, and a lot of them are emotional players anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure.
Oh, don't listen to me. I'm talking on my ass.
Let me find. Bam.
How come?
So we're profitable this session, but only because we sucked out with 6s. So that's not ideal, but it's better than losing. Oh yeah, I was just wondering, like the call with ace-8 suited. I mean, do you not think that it's worth it to call to get a fish into the action? Like, I would think playing a hand with 2 fish is better than trying to 3-bet and fold. Like, yeah, I can 3-bet and fold, but this person may not fold a lot. They may fold the continuation bets, but I would rather just have position in a 3-way pot with ace-8 suited. That seems like
force the fish
to me.
Force the fish to play with you post flop when they're terrible. It's like making money. It's printing it. So it's like limping in. It's like when you're just completing in the small blind when you have a fish in the big blind. You're forcing him to play with you. He has no choice but to play with you post flop. Boom, and he's terrible. So hopefully he hits a fucking small pair or something, and off to the races. I mean, I wouldn't do that all the time, but these are certain strategies you can use. That.
Yeah. I mean, if I've got position and I can get in a hand with 2 fish, I'm gonna try to take it sometimes. Yeah, I might 3-bet there sometimes, but I don't know. I'd have to really look at it to decide what I think is like. It's just very, very difficult to break down that entire situation to find out which is the better play, like which play is going to make more money in the long run.
You tell me this all the time about it takes a long. The thing about poker is it takes a long time to figure out if you're a winning player. So bad players play forever, thinking they're winning because they just happen to be winning right now,
I'm gonna bet fold here because, well, maybe. I think he can have a lot of draws here, but a lot of the draws just got there with the queen, which is frustrating. So like he can bet and I mean he may not be thinking about this, but he can bet and represent like this queen very easily because there's a lot of queens in his calling range, and he bets like pretty small. So I think he's going for like maybe thin value. I don't know. I was getting pretty good odds to call, but that queen hits his range really hard.
Take it down with the 8s. It's done.
What's that?
I said you take it down with the 8s. You just took it down with the 8s.
Did I?
Everyone, it folded with you. It folded to you.
Oh, okay.
I was making a joke. You ruined it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best value. Fish threatening. That is like I see that and I go crazy. I'm like these guys are so aggro and so tilted right now that they're just throwing money around. I don't know. How do you feel about 2 fish who are just Yeah, I love it when they're yelling. First off, it means they're not multi-tabling, which means they're not high skilled. Which means they don't play a lot. They don't have a lot of hands under the belt. Yeah. We always make fun of the people who put the little emotes and stuff like that, like drinking beer and the little shark eating the guy's head. I don't know. That really turns me on. I like that kind of stuff.
There's another question is like, I mean, there's got to be some times where I might want to check back this flush draw, but I think it's just so easy to bet because you have so much equity in the hand that like I don't really know when the times to check back would be. This I can bet pretty small and get a pretty honest response out of this guy. This is a pretty strong board. He should be folding all of his worst. Anything that doesn't hit this is folding like every time. So, yeah, okay, you got a 5. Good story. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Straightforward bet.
I like Stadansky's propaganda or whatever his comment. He just said AIDS.
Saw that.
I like it. It's bold. It's innovator.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to know about 888, I think Rello plays on 888, right? That's because I did a Leak Finder video on somebody that played on 888 poker. I think that was him.
Wasn't me.
I know that. Yeah, here, I mean, Jack King suit is definitely good enough to call, the loose fish. This guy's going to call, 40% of the time. That'll be good. Yeah, we're caught in the middle, but, I mean, Jack King suit is definitely strong enough to call, even though it's like an under-the-gun open. I mean, he's opening, well, he hasn't opened an early position yet, but I don't think that means he has, positional awareness. So against, a tag player here that is, c-betting a ton, I would raise this board a lot because it's super dry, and they're going to be c-betting, 100% of the time. But against, a fishy, loose player, I'm just going to go ahead and fold. But, against, let me find, maybe against H. Robbie or something, who's, 22-20, c-betting almost 90% of the time, Ace-8-3 dry would be a perfect board to raise. Because, he literally can only call with, his aces. And And yes, that is like a part of his range, but it's not like there's a ton of stuff that a tag is going to be opening that won't ever be able to call a raise there. So it's going to be a really profitable spot. It's not something I've had the opportunity to like test out and do a lot, but when I have done it a few times, like I mean, I've been very successful with it.
Wow, that is aggressive.
Wow. Hey, why don't you go ahead and moderate the chat there, you?
Is that my thing?
There you go. Thank you. Oops, I didn't mean to.
I'm gonna start banning everybody. I don't like these people. That's not true. I love you all. Thanks for watching.
He's just kidding.
Yeah, don't leave. I love you.
There we go, yeah. Why is my stuff all the way up here? All right, so let's check out these tables real quick. We got like about 15 minutes left for the show. It wasn't quite as much action as I wanted, but we started off with a lot of action. Just weren't able to keep it up too well, but that's okay. We do have a couple fish at this table on the left still. We've got one fish across, three fish. Yeah, I mean these tables are fine. So like that's the one thing also when you're table selecting is yeah, I'll just fold ace 10. When you're table selecting, don't just look at like players per flop. That's a good way to start out, to like start on the tables that you're at, but if you can get a program, either you know the one that's with Holdem Manager, I haven't been able to get that one to work, but or another one that I've got on my website just as like an advertise. I'm gonna write an article on it at some point, but it's called. If you go to my website, there's a banner there. It's Poker Edge. I'll put something up on my Twitch also for it. But wow, this is a little bit weird. Really don't want to get raised here. I'll just bet though. Getting raised here sucks because there's so many like straights and sets, and this just hits a lot of calling ranges. But you know, it is what it is. I think I can bet fold here. Bet and then fold if he raises. Yikes. Yeah, well.
Oh, let it go.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
7 deuce. He probably had 7 deuce. Just cracked the races with 7 deuce.
Maybe.
How does that feel?
Maybe. I mean, he's pretty aggressive, but I don't think he's gonna bluff. I don't think he's bluffing that turn with much of anything. I mean, there's too many made hands in his range, right? Like there's just. And then this like really nitty guy, 3 bets, so I think we can fold there. Man, these are tough. I definitely maybe next week I'll do some streaming on Bovada. Just because the action, there's just way more action on those tables. They're like live tables, and I'm not getting rake back on Carbon anymore anyway. So there's really no reason to be playing on Carbon versus Bovada. Therefore, I should definitely be playing on Bovada if I'm not getting rake back because the games are quite a bit softer and they're just way more action.
Explain to me. You were saying that you found a HUD for Bovada. How does it work? Does it just do the HUD for your stats, or how does it track other people?
It doesn't track the stats. It shows the HUDs for that session. So it's like you can take notes for that session. You can do all this other stuff for the session, but it's nice because if you got like 2 tables up, even 20, 30, 40 hands on somebody helps. And I mean, a lot of times people stay at a table for hundreds of hands. So you do at least get like, okay, this guy's loose, this guy's tight, this guy's 3-betting. I could not believe how little 3-betting there was on Bovada. I mean, like, look around the 14%, 4%, 3%, 6%. Almost everybody's got some 3-bet in them. On Bovada, after like 20 or 30 hands, a lot of times it was like 0, 0, 0, 5, like, and then it was me with like 12.
15.
Yeah, like, it was crazy.
You got to 3-bet more, man.
So yeah, I was pretty surprised. And then the other one is, the one that's on my website. I'll put on here. Let me see if I can find a link for it. Hold on.
That is true. Carbon does allow HUD and Bovada does not. However,
No,
you said you've
Bovada
got a
actually
program.
does. That program's signed off by Bovada because they don't keep other players' screen names and hands and stuff.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So I guess then.
So that one's all good. Let me get you guys the link for it. Boom, got it. Wait.
Huh. Rella, what is the name of the software you're talking about? I know that we messed around with some Holdem manager software that kind of had that functionality. We could never make it work. So I don't know what software you're using, but that would be actually pretty nice to have. I would definitely look it up. So do share
There you guys go.
if you know the name of it.
Want to make sure you guys get the right link, but yeah, that's the it's called Holdem indicator. That's the one for Bovada that actually lets you see like some hands on Bovada, and then the other cool one that I'm gonna do a video on is it has it's kind of like what is it? I'll put these links in the description of the YouTube video so that if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can check these things out because it's pretty good stuff. This other one I like a lot. Let me find it.
Does that use is that good for Macs or it's only PC probably?
That one I would have to check.
It's probably only PC. But it's nice though, it keeps track of your stats. That's I like having the info on other people, but mainly I want to keep track of my own stats.
Yeah, it's not like the cleanest way of doing it. It's like it literally just tells you how much you've won or lost. It doesn't tell you your win rate. It doesn't go into like huge details. It's like, but it tells you how many hands you've played and how much you've won or lost and what your stats are. Your VPIP, your pre-flop raise, your 3-bet. But it's not.
So it doesn't
like,
break it down into hands and stuff for you.
It does. It has a replayer also. It's just none of it is like as nice as It's just not like as nice as the stuff that we use. It's not as nice as Holdem Manager or what's the one you use?
Poker Copilot.
Yeah, it's just not as like clean and organized as those. It's really just like a table pop-up type thing. So. Oh yeah, I said I'll put that in the chat, and so you guys noticed that it went in the chat, and then all of a sudden I started talking about the chat. So.
Yeah, there was a delay, but.
I mean, pretty much everybody that watches my stream knows that, and it's pretty obvious and understood why that exists. So, no worries. But yeah, there's some good stuff out there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a whole section on my website where I review this stuff. Actually, this is the only thing I may, because I can't buy all this stuff. Like some of the stuff's expensive, so that may be the only reason I may throw like a PayPal button on something so that if you guys want me to like test out software and stuff, like, I mean, I'll obviously like just go ahead and buy it at some point, but Other than that, I may throw something like that up just so that there's a way to
just throw me a little some miles, throw yourself some miles, just mix it up, mix it up.
Throw us some miles.
Yeah.
Please don't talk anymore.
Can you both just stop talking?
But yeah, that's why that's the only reason I would do that, is just so that I can actually go out, buy all this software, test it out, write good in-depth reviews on it. Like I said, I want, I don't obviously I do everything on YouTube. My whole website's free and open and everything like that. So, I'm just trying to make sure that even though it's free, that I'm putting, giving you guys as much value back as possible. Like I said with the rake back thing and doing the free coaching, I want my stuff to be value added. So I want there to be value in you guys using my site versus any other site.
I think we're getting it's kind of narrowed. It's kind of boiling down here. 10 o'clock. How are these tables? Are they live tables?
Yeah, they're all right. That link didn't work. Don't click that. Blah. I don't know why it didn't work.
Yeah, it is really difficult because by the time people mention the thing in the chat, it's a couple of minutes going by or so, and you don't. It's hard to remember all the hands. The big hands, yeah, you can remember, but the small spots where you're you should have raised, or you should have played that hand. I don't really remember the circumstances, but it's a necessary evil, if you will. It's got to be done.
All right. Well, my little link isn't quite working, but anyway, if you guys go to my website and check it out, obviously you can get to it through there, but I'd appreciate it more if you went through my link. That's another one. If you guys sign up for this Poker Edge thing and you use my site, I'll do 30 minutes, or if you sign up for it and you use my link or whatever, I'll do some coaching, help you guys set it up, show you how it works. I'll also do a review on it, a video showing you how to use it. The thing I like about it anyway is, and you can go in the forum or whatever, there's a link to this stuff on my website. But the thing that I like about it is that it has all the hands. So if you move up a limit, you may not have hands on anybody you're playing with. Well, this just uses a massive database of hands, and so because of that, you will, you'll have hands on everyone right when you move up, because there's already a database. It's already there, so you don't have to really worry about it, which is nice. But yeah, for some reason, all the banners and stuff work and are fine with this whole thing, but I can't get the individual link to work for some reason. So
well, Rella wants to see more live streaming and interviews, so he's our biggest fan, so got to do that for him.
All right, so yeah, so you like last week's
But
show?
I'm probably going to head out. I have work tomorrow morning, but I appreciate everyone's.
Hold on, so I'm breaking up a little bit. So yeah, if you guys want to see more, hand history reviews and stuff like that, just let me know in the comments of the YouTube video or on Facebook or wherever, and I'll try to cater to what you guys want to see. So yeah, the real time is yeah, I enjoy that too. It's definitely something good. This guy is super tight, and now he's betting $3 here. I can't. Let's see if he slows down on the turn on the left here. If he shoves, yeah, I guess I need to fold. But if wow, I just don't know how he can have a hand every time here. But anyway, yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this week. Not the best not the best showing. Ended up down about $6 after that hand. So maybe next week we'll review some hands, and I'll get a video out this week of me four tabling some either 10 NL here or some 50 NL over on Bovada. And hopefully with some nice, good, high quality play or some good, high quality hand review. So Till next week's guys, is Unexceptional Rounder and Shark Slayer. Thanks for coming. And you guys keep on grinding, and we'll see you next week. All right.
Talk to you next. See ya.